Welcome to the third episode of Who Got the Gas, where we give you your daily strains of
cannabis history,
lifestyle,
and intersectionality. I'm Marceline.
I'm LSP.
and I'm Finn.
And today we are going to be talking about our experience, well, your guys' experience at a cannabis convention. And then we'll also be talking about kind of changing your relationship with cannabis, if that's what you're interested in doing. Because for me personally, that's a phase that I'm going through. But first, we have our cannabis history fun fact of the day, which I found, here we go, on trueblueco.com. And the fact is, in the 19th century, cannabis extracts were used as medicine in Europe and the U.S. Someone named Sir William Brooke O'Shaughnessy, an Irish doctor who was studying in India, found that cannabis could help reduce vomiting and stomach pain in people with cholera, which cholera I looked up as a bacterial infection, usually spread through water, but it causes vomiting, diarrhea. So I liked this one because I personally have stomach issues, as I think all of us do actually here. So to know that someone validated that it helped with those kind of symptoms was great.
Real. So
The convention.
that sounds pretty good. It was really cool. I really liked going to see like local and far cannabis vendors. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, they were all very kind, very sweet, very educated in their specific niche of cannabis. There was a lot of like cannabis packaging and marketing companies, which is really cool to see, like the people behind making packaging stand out to us, which ultimately is like the weed that we choose to smoke.
And just to give a little backstory, we went to the Ohio Cannabis Health and Business Summit. It was a 2-day thing, and they also had an after party, but we didn't go to that.
Yeah, that would have been fun, but no, not today.
But they all smoking there.
Please.
It's gonna be a smoke house, huh?
And some good weed too. Oh damn.
Industry's finest.
We can just roll up late.
You know, we can just roll up.
Oh yeah.
Everybody trying everything. Oh man, I bet.
Sorry for the ASMR eating sounds, guys. We're eating.
Yeah, we had to do that.
What is something that you really liked about it? I'm sorry, I haven't.
What I really enjoyed about the whole experience was how nice everyone really was. Like, everyone was just there to share something they were passionate about, and you could really tell that they were passionate about it for how long they were talking about it, how enthusiastic they were about the brand, each brand. There was, so we saw Galena's, we saw Seed and Strain and Classics, which are from the same company.
We saw Clutch.
So, yeah, Clutch. There was Kind. There was
Good Kind. I love Good
There's
Kind.
You Be Good. There was
We
so
saw
many
Platinum, which Ohio is actually taking over Platinum instead of it being in Michigan.
Oh, sure.
Remember he told us?
I wasn't paying attention.
That guy with the...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're actually taking over that and they're making it better. I will keep talking about the marketing because a lot of the marketing, like, it really just stood out to me. Like, I feel like so Gen Z when I say that, but like, if you have a good marketing team, like, I feel like that shows me that the people behind the company care about cannabis. Like, they're looking at it in a consumer point of view.
The packaging we saw today, one was made out of rice paper.
Oh yeah,
And it
very
felt
sustainable.
so good. It felt so good. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Sustainable packaging too? Okay, I'm into that.
And different types of people in the industry too. It was nice to see, like, I feel like the original archetype of like who runs cannabis businesses were like the inferior in terms of like population, or what am I looking for? They were the outlier or the minority, in the sense where it's like we're so used to like rich white guys, like the ones running Clutch, running the industry, and there was a lot of just normal regular people, you know, people of color,
Black owned too.
a lot of black owned
Black
companies
Buddha.
being represented by white people, and it really made me happy. And yeah, a lot of freebies given away. Really, a lot of the business owners there, they were so just like sweet.
And it just, I love that it was not just selling cannabis. It was also, there was the branding behind it. There's HR and things like that. There's legal handles behind it to help with that. There was
one girl there. She literally was, her entire company vending was HR company for small cannabis businesses. So she provides HR for cannabis businesses that don't.
That's cool.
So cool. There was a lawyer there. He does cannabis consulting.
Okay.
Like so many different avenues. Like some people, they didn't even have anything to do with weed, but they help people in the industry.
Yeah.
And they were making intersectional connections. And I think that's why so many people were like, oh, let's hop on your podcast, because
shout out to Dan.
about that.
We talked to Dan for a real long
Dan
minute.
is a sweet guy.
But yeah, just shit like that. They even had doctors there ready to give medical cards. Like, hey, if you need yours, come over here. There's a special too. Like, and it goes for 10 days after. We have a card in 10 days special.
Oh yeah, you can still get the discount.
What is the discount?
I think you get $50, $65 for your card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was lit.
it was very good.
We got to meet actually the guy who owns one of the medical card things.
It's called Blue something.
Bluebird. Oh man, no, I need to get that. Wait.
Speaking of, just to be the devil's advocate,
Yeah.
is there anything that you think they could have done better?
This is my first time ever going to a cannabis
I
summit.
would say yeah.
I don't think I could ever.
Just even like, just like based on your experience as like someone who's attending it, like, you know what I mean? I know obviously like it's not like you know the knowings of how it was all planned and all that, but
I genuinely think out of all the conventions I've been to, this was probably one of the best.
okay.
It was really chill.
Very well thought out, and very organized.
And the lady who was at the front desk knew what she was talking about. So you go here for this, you go over there for that, go down there for
She
this.
walked us through the whole pamphlet.
Like literally. And then told us where to find a bigger one.
That's good not to have anything to say.
No, for real. You know me. Normally, I will have something to say. So it was nice to be in a place where I'm like, finally.
And everything was close together, so it was like a nice like walking distance, but you weren't like confused.
Yeah.
It was a hub.
It was like, yeah, you're like, everything is right here, so you're not like scouring the fucking ends of the earth trying to find a booth or something.
Yeah.
Which is probably, you know, Ohio businesses and brands are just kind of small, so they, you know.
But it was also nice to see so many vendors.
So many.
Like I'm so used to like saying that it's a vendor fair and like there's only like 15 or 20 vendors. And there was over 100 vendors. They were all from all over the country. Colorado, freaking. I was like, you flew from Colorado just to come to Ohio?
For real.
Like, well, that, you know.
Yes.
And they were like, yeah, because y'all are making big moves finally. So, but it was nice to also see so many people from out of state complain about the restrictions. And they were saying, like, how do y'all, like, this is so difficult to get by. Oh, and those edibles that I told you I got from a Columbus dispensary, we met the guy who just bought that company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So and I love people like that. Like some people are like, I hate white guys who buy out companies. And I do too once they start making it awful. But I love white guys like him who, at least, I don't know what, I need to do my research. At least I think I like him. I like him a lot because he seems like the type of guy to like be real and hop on.
The guy who was recruiting you?
The other one that was wearing the hat and the glasses. He's from Colorado. Yeah. He has another company that he just bought through his friends made it, and it was like a lozenge edible, so it's like caramel drops.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the effect of having a cannabis, like having some type of tincture underneath your tongue. Okay. So it lasts longer, you get higher, and he's just that type of business owner that's like, I'm hopping on that because it's good. It's the next best thing.
And he knows, and he'll let you know if if it doesn't sound like a good idea, he will let you know.
Yeah, he told his friend that. His friend was like, I want to have this idea where I make cannabis-infused barbecue sauce. And he's like, it sounds great, but I'm going to tell you right now.
Like, they got shit at home they can use for that. Like, what are you doing?
Market for it.
Yes.
For real, yeah.
And
it makes sense.
I think cannabis industry owners are probably one of the only people that are, like, hella for real. Like, on the be for real meter, they're high up there because they have to be.
It was medically, like, used for a long time before it became, like, you know, legally adult use, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And people are hopping on that shit because it's so new. They want to get in there.
Right.
And once you're in, everybody's going to be talking about you. Everybody's going to be referring you to here. Everybody's going to be, you know, because they want the best of the best.
Yeah.
And with that comes knowing your brand, knowing how you show up for your brand and what it's, you know, what you're working towards.
I guess that's a good thing to say. One thing that I think I'm not going to call out the brand because look, after being there for so long, we realize how frustrating and tiring it must be to be in a spot like that all day for 2 days.
And saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And sales in itself is hard. So imagine trying to sell cannabis in a convention. That's not easy. As well as just like a lot of people were traveling. You had to bring all that shit from home and like set up. I don't really want to judge them too much because shit, they might have forgot one thing at home that could have changed their booth entirely, you know? But I will say there was like one brand that began that kind of start excursion of intentionality in the brands that we saw. They kind of just were all about the logo. They're all about the logo and the colors, and it was really great. It really was compelling. But then you got there, and there was no business cards, which is great. I told him, that's awesome if you ran out of business cards. But he kind of, like, was very, like, nonchalant about it, too, where he was like, oh, what do you want to know? Like, I want your email. I want your social media. Like, I don't really want to get to know the brand through... I feel bad for saying that, but I don't really want to get to know the brand only through you as the associate or even as the owner. But when we walked away, we were saying like, then we walked to, I basically was saying like there was nothing there to tell me the brand story. I was like, what is this about? Like, why do you guys make cannabis? Why are you in a dispensary? Like, what was the owner's story that really like made him be like, you know what, fuck this shit. I got to make my own shit. I want to know. And I feel like they didn't really touch on that at all. And literally the next table we walked by, there was nobody at the table. There was not even that great of branding, but they had a slip on the table that was up for you could see it, and they said, we telling you basically why they make cannabis. And it was very like
The
passionate.
motto, their slogan kind of vibe.
Yeah, and I was saying like apply that to the same brand we just saw. If there would have been nobody there, we would have known nothing about that brand. It just would have been a logo and a photo shoot booth. And that's when it started being like, so what made you like go into this sector? And I feel like you were clocking their tea. They were not expecting it.
I was like, wait, my girl's coming with questions. Let me come with some. I was like, so what got you into this? Why? So one girl was like, you know, I just I got pulled in, and then I've been here for 8 years. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
So you're just doing it because
Meanwhile,
you've been here.
Sending in application after application to try to be in cannabis marketing. But here you are. You basically just told me that your company couldn't afford to hire people, so they talked to their friend, and they never hired anyone new for 8 years later.
Yeah.
T.
Do crickets. Cricket sounds.
But
So
I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie, they had some beautiful designs. On
It
the
was.
table.
I was like, you know what? But sometimes that's
But
what
it's
has
just
to
like-
happen to find your passion.
Yeah. I don't think she was thinking that deeply still, though. It's just not...
She was there
just kinda
because
just
she's
there.
there. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, I just want to... If you're at this table, why are you at this table? You know? Because obviously you care about the brand in some kind of capacity to be here, standing here.
And she had a drastic difference in her compared to all the other people we did speak to, as well as like
There was one, the lady with the old lady that was helping us. I forget her name. I don't remember.
good grief.
But the sprays.
Oh yeah,
She was so sweet. She was really
and her
just like...
business partner was so sweet too.
Yeah, he was awesome. Oh my god.
He was like, I want to be on your he was the first person
Yeah. She left her phone, came back.
because he let me charge it. Yeah. And he was like, I was looking for you.
All right, come on our podcast then. Come on.
He was the first one, and then that's when we got the guy who was standing in line, and it just kind of started trickling down. So you guys get excited. We're about to have some special guests.
Yes, making
People on
connections.
and really just like dive more into it. Like,
And these people are like very educated. Like these people are coming to talk about their brands in a very like educated way. Like the guy from Blue, what is this? Bluebird, he was like, I have an extensive knowledge to bring to your podcast. And I was like,
want him on.
I'm ready.
Okay, yes you do.
Like,
If you're branding yourself like that, I believe you.
oh yeah, when we walked in, he's like a car salesman with the.
No, seriously. They're like, it'll only take 5 minutes, like 2 minutes tops. And we're just like, oh, because we were about to go, actually. We were actually about to go.
We
and
were.
then we went downstairs, and I was like, it was like 2:37. I was like, you know what, 2:45. We going down there. I didn't know what time it was for real, but it was just like
2:41.
Yeah, and then we walked in. We started talking. I was like, I told him I work in the industry a little bit. And he was like, oh, man, awesome. And then he gave me, like, his original pen and shit. And that was really cool.
He was obsessed with
almost
you.
Cried.
Also,
No,
the
'cause it was so
dispensary
sweet.
that LSP works at, dude, everyone's obsessed with it. Like, every time they bring it up, they're like, oh, I just went there for this work meeting, this thing last week. Oh, it was amazing. I just went to their growery. It was top notch, like, best in the area. And I'm like, wow, like, I want to go.
I want to go myself. Shit, I want to see what's happening at the cultivation center.
Yeah, they're, like, doing a lot of, like, engaging, what's it called, professional networking events there for, like, people in the industry.
Which makes sense.
I feel like you would have liked it because it's finally a space where people like us can find a space to be professional and feel cool. Yeah. And
But
yeah,
still also not like frowned upon for enjoying cannabis, or you know what I mean?
it was a daily conversation. He asked us, he was like, so how do you guys consume the, or, and then he asked us, like, do you guys consume black market or the right market? It was not even like a, he was like, oh, you try black market? Oh, cool. Like, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Like,
It was.
Especially with the pricing right now. Crazy. I still cannot get over the 2.83 grams for $40. What? I'm smoking one joint for $40?
okay, yeah, that's actually criminal.
Like,
What I will say about that is that everything that, at least in the dispense that I am, in the dispo that I work at, everything is medical. Whether you're buying adult use or medical, it's
Well, they need to
Medical quality.
declassify the weed that's in these dispensaries to actual. They're selling us medical weed to recreational people.
right.
That's
Which
why
is
it's
also why I
expensive.
think is so high, because the percentage is either like
There's no way they got the weed that they needed to yet because they just opened up.
Yeah.
They're basically selling the weed that they already had, and half of the dispensaries that we have here, or all of them, were only medical. So, and that means it's going to take at least 6 months plus, shipping and processing and developing time to collaborate with brands to get them into the store, because they can't just sell their own weed. They have to reach out to brands who sell recreationally, and that's a whole process. And it's gonna be a few years, especially if we want to do it right. I actually don't want them to rush it.
Me neither.
I would rather
Because
them
once
do it.
the prices do drop, it'll be worth it, because
I don't think we're ever gonna get down to a Michigan point. I do think we need to come to
I
terms
think we're
with
gonna
that.
come to like an Ohio kind of standard of what Michigan.
It's
is.
still gonna
not
be
the
expensive.
same thing, yeah, but it's gonna like.
It's the nature of our state. We need to realize it.
I feel like now it's just like the pricing is just unattainable unless like you're really rich. So
Plus, a lot of places do ATM fees because, let's talk about this, it is federally still illegal.
That's why they make
But
you pay
it's-
cash.
And that's cash, or either it has to go like an ATM transaction through the thing, because if it's read through the system, you could potentially get shut down.
yeah.
Something happened yesterday about that at the convention, where they came in and people had things on display that they probably should not have had, and plus
They
didn't have
basically are
regulations
rated.
and rights to be there to promote that, so they got kicked out.
Oh my god.
It was disjointed, bro. They said somebody was throwing shit into their bag when they saw the cops coming, and another person was asked to leave their entire booth, pick it up and go.
That's
was a
fucked
lot.
up. That's crazy.
But we did talk to someone who works at Curaleaf. They're really nice. She works in the Woodmere, she said, or Chagrin Falls area. Yeah, I think we should hit up Curaleaf one day. I do think we should start going places together and just saying hi, even if we don't buy anything.
Yeah.
Just to say hi, and get our name and faces to people. But also, she was saying that there's this new way to pay at dispensaries, and it's called CanPay.
Oh, I think I saw when I was browsing some of those prices. I saw some places advertise about that.
LSP, do you want to go into what it was about?
So from what I can remember, it was basically you sign up and you get in a certain amount, and you can use that amount to pay, and it'll take off all the taxes, so you're paying just for that particular amount.
Oh.
Also, it's basically another form of payment for paying for your weed.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to use your debit card and pay out the ATM fee.
Differences and all that.
And also take cash out constantly. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, because unfortunately this is where I've been having to still get my cannabis is Planet of the Vapes. But they let me know that they just got approved for their dispensary license. So
Planet of the Vapes?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I don't want to like throw shade, but like it will be so rare that I will buy my weed from like a smoke shop.
I mean, listen.
It's what I gotta do right now.
The THCA is not bad, y'all. For real.
It's not. As long as I feel I gotta.
We smoked it, baby.
I'm gonna die.
But I didn't even know.
When we were at Marceline's place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, those weren't bad.
But they were saying that they're either going to start having more just strictly THC products, or they're going to build their own just dispensary, but it's by Planet of the Vapes.
Damn, they got many.
So, yeah.
Well then.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even
looking crusty from the outside, so they better get it together.
well, not on the inside.
I know, I said from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
The inside is actually hard. Like I love it in there.
Yeah.
It does kind of. It gives what it needs to give. It gives bodega smoke shop.
Yeah.
But I like that. And there actually a lot of them are starting to do like little events and stuff with 420, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Making it accessible, because we know damn well that dispensaries, if they do have an event, they're going to charge you at least $30-something odd to get in there for safety and all that.
Yeah.
Versus like a smoke shop, you can get in there for free.
And I don't know. I like them just because I think that they have the cheapest cones that I know anywhere.
So wait, I want to ask you guys a little question, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys know the difference between a distillate and an RSO?
No.
No, love.
Okay. So.
You know that we didn't know.
You just wanted to make us feel stupid.
I was like, you could have just said it.
No, sorry.
Please.
So, a distillate, which we're kind of talking about with some people today at the convention. A distillate is when they draw out all the terpenes from a single weed plant, and then they take some of the THCA and other cannabinoids and they put it in obviously depends, and that's why it's that gold color, because it's so distilled, diluted, not diluted, but just extracted and taking certain things to make certain flavors and keep the certain strain. RSO, they're taking that full plant, leaf, stem, buds, they drain all of it, so you're getting the full plant experience.
Oh my god.
All of the cannabinoids, all the THCA, all the delta, everything
all the
that
Delta.
encompasses.
Delta Airlines.
So there's this thing called live resin diamonds. That's your shit if you want the full effects of your plants.
If y'all want to know what I'm smoking on my honey stick pen, and it's from Common Citizen, which is by Mr. Mike Tyson, one of my favorite brands. This shit be punching me. Shit.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was his brand.
It's one of my. Okay. I do think we should move on to our topic.
Yeah. So I just
And
wanted to add
that was
a little
perfect.
bit.
Our topic.
Yeah. Well, because time sucks. Yeah. Also, I think that was a good transition because we normally do a little fun fact, and I think that was a good little fun fact.
Two fun facts in one day.
Yeah.
Period.
Or our history fact.
Oh, that was history.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, mine was history as well.
Oh,
No, I was saying yours was.
yours was a fun fact. Yeah, yours was history. His was a fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
So yeah, RSOs are darker. Those are just Anyways.
Okay.
That was
Lovely.
my little TED talk. Moving on. What's next?
Next topic is about
changing your relationship with cannabis, whatever capacity that is, if that's something that you're interested in. And
It should be.
it should be. It wasn't. I didn't want to.
You were not trying to.
I was not trying to.
Because even in the last episode, you're like, I don't think I'm addicted.
Stop.
She's dodging the fuck out of it.
No, and then I was like, well, yeah. If I was like, if I saw someone like previously like drinking as much in a day that I was smoking, oh yeah. So I'm glad that I had that realization. It was needed, even though I didn't want to realize it. That's how it always is, right? You always want to push it away and be like, nah. But I feel like the first thing, like the first step is really like, I was looking at analyzing like when I would use cannabis and what I would use it for, the purpose of it, and I feel like, yes, like it's, you know, it definitely is good to manage my anxiety, but it's not good if that's the only thing that I'm dependent on to manage. You know what I mean? Anxiety or just daily life, or, you know, the small shits that happen every single day.
Yeah, you can't just take a hit because you're sad like every 5 seconds. Like, you can, and I'm not trying to invalidate myself or anybody else, but like, girl, you're gonna have to pay for that later. Nothing is free.
I think for me, it's like I am trying to find my way of like a little schedule or something, just a little tradition or some kind of thing for me to not be so dependent to smoke every single day at every single minute, every single hour. Not like I'm like woo, but you know,
but not like using it for like, oh, inconvenience.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because there are
smoke.
days when I don't have money and I don't have any weed and I don't smoke for like 4 days. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not like crazy. I want to smoke, but it's not like I'm
Right.
like, hey,
Crash.
hey, someone come pick me up. You know, or just I'm just like, damn, I would like to smoke right now. Yeah,
But I am not.
But like,
yeah.
shit, let me just watch this show right quick.
And then I feel like it makes you like be like, there are other good things in life beyond cannabis, you know, and you need to be hit with that sometimes.
So I'm just trying to figure out how I can bring that to my smoking habits.
Yeah.
And make them go together like jam and jelly.
I feel like I'm judging y'all because I'm like, damn, they feel like that. Like,
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
that there's nothing else good in the world, but I feel
I
like
don't feel like
not like that, but in the sense of like, oh, like now that I'm not high, I realize that weed isn't like the only good thing. Like, I feel like weed has always been like that, like additional, like, oh, thank God it exists. It helps me be. It helps me like things more, you know. It's an enhancer.
Yeah.
I think of it as like piercings. Like, my parents used to always make me write a fucking essay every time I wanted to get a piercing or anything. And I remember one time I was like, because they were going to be like, if you say that it's going to make you prettier, then we're not going to let you get it because you're already pretty. So I used to always use the word enhance and being like, of course I'm drop dead gorgeous, but like, if I get a nose ring, it would just make everything be even better for me. Like, I could have a pre-styled outfit. And I think that's how we could think and should think of cannabis, where it's like, this helps me with that. And like anything, like imagine if cannabis was a person and you called them every single time you hit it. Like, oh my gosh, she'd be tired of me, girl. She'd be like, girl, do your own fucking work.
For real.
I'm not a math problem. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely do my dues.
yeah.
I'm not like,
No, you're not like that.
I know what you're saying. I'm just like, I get what you're saying, and I do use it like that because I definitely have had like some good sativas that help me. I go to my practices and I'm just like, oh shit, that was, you know, I'm feeling the music, babe.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I think you just need to be in tune with yourself too to know what you need.
Yeah.
That's mainly your whole relationship with weed is your relationship with
With
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like alcohol. I think that's why I like it, because like when you have alcohol, you kind of have to like know yourself, and then you have to know your drunk self, and then you have to be willing to like merge the two, and like versus when you're high is like, I'm just all my thoughts that are coming.
And it really, really helps me with my ADHD also, because my mind is so active, and I feel like my lips cannot keep up sometimes. So it kind of slows me down a little bit to the point where I can think and process efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. I mean, sure, I can get dumb and stupid sometimes, but what the fuck? I mean, like, even without the cannabis, I still am forgetful and things like that. Like I said before, you know?
That's why I enjoy doing schoolwork so much high, is because, especially writing, because for me, like, even though I, like, love my product of writing, I hate the process of writing because, like, me battling with my anxiety during it, of, like, it's almost like it's a perfectionist nature.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know if this is the best version.
Yeah, I'm constantly overthinking what I just wrote rather than just letting it flow. But I felt like, particularly when I was writing, you know, papers or whatever, that's when, like, I could be in a state while high of just letting those thoughts flow, and without feeling like I need to constantly critique myself and change it and go back. I got things done a lot quicker that way because I wasn't spending so much time stopping and going back and forth and doubting myself. I appreciate that.
You, like, your relationship with weed started getting, like, bad, though.
I think, I mean, even then, there were elements of my relationship that were bad because I was still doing it just habitually, you know? And
Habits start young.
yeah. And, like, that's also, like, a part of what I was looking at. Well, a part of my habit was just every day waking up and smoking, and right before going to sleep smoking. And the first thing I looked at is, like, well, I don't want to use weed as something that, like, I just wake up to or something that helps me fall asleep. I want to see it as something more special than that. Like, something that, like, each time that I'm inhaling it, it's, like, it's an experience that, you know, like, I'm taking on, and it's not just I'm getting high because whatever.
I noticed that too, like, I don't know, I feel like your mindfulness when you smoke, it affects your high.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like sometimes some people, they can smoke, like Snoop Dogg. He could put back weed after weed after weed after joint because he's taught himself to be self-aware, and I don't know that man, you know what I mean? But, like, at least, like, the way he even shows up, he always be fried, but, like, he's never said some so stupid ass shit, like, to the point where it was like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like, or never, I don't know, I feel like we have to, like, trust ourselves that, like, even if you're hitting it a lot, like, knowing that what you're doing is for yourself. I feel like sometimes when you smoke a lot, like, you get caught in the anxiety of, like, oh shit, should I be doing this? And then, like, but you're already high.
Yeah.
So you can't be thinking about that at this point.
Yeah.
Because if that's when you start to, like, it starts making a whole bunch of other negative connections, and it's going to be harder to, like, let it go. Just, like, ride your high out, and then when you're sober, figure that shit out. Like, and then don't be afraid to, like, start either. When did it go bad for you?
I'll say probably when my mom passed. During that time, I was smoking, like, every day, for real, like, every day, like, every moment. On my way to class, like,
Yeah.
I'm outside, like, all right, put this out, let me go in now. I can go in like, I'll roll one to smoke in the morning, and it will be done. Then I'm leaving for school. I'm like, damn, I should roll one more. So it was, yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously, like, you obviously in a not good position.
Yeah.
But I can see that because when I felt like I've been at my lowest point, I was doing the same thing. You know.
I don't know. I definitely put a lot back. I just can't put them, like, actually, you know what? I remember I had a time like that. It was when we lived in Elber. That was rough for me because we're giving tea. I really wanted to, like, just, like, be in a space with my roommate, like, just only my roommate. And she had a partner, so it was just, like, really rough for me. And obviously that partner at the time, I did not like that person, so it was, like, extra rough. I remember, like, the first day I moved in, I was, like, sobbing on my floor in the dark, like, because I was like, I just know this is gonna be a rough experience. Yeah. And, like, that's when I just was like hitting bowls, bowl after bowl. And that's when you used to come in the room and be like, you put cookies in the oven, like, are you gonna go get them? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, let me go get that. So yeah, I remember getting so high that my forehead would start to like buzz, like, and I would like that. I'd be like, yeah,
you're like, this is it.
Like, this is when I need to stop. Like, like, yeah, this is great. And then I would go to sleep. But if you think about it, most people who like get high for like cancer and things like that, like, they're getting that fried every day.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with getting that fried as long as you can like bring yourself back, take a shower, you know, take care of yourself, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah.
I like to say, when I smoke recently now, and I smoke like even like half a blunt, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm like, damn, I'm kind of hitting the spot.
I smoked a roach earlier, and I was like high for an hour. I was like, whoa.
No, for real. I think
that's why I stick with one
expecting
method.
Such an instant, like, we're expecting, you know, because getting high for the first time, you're kind of chasing after that just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like when you really just sit for a second, like, let it
marinate.
Marinate. And then you're like,
that'll be in the morning.
This on the
In the morning, I'll like hit my pen once, and then I'll be like, "Fuck, I wanted to hit it again," but I'm like already moving around. I can't stop, and then I'll like be standing there like, "Whoa there."
Trust, I got my pen for my job, and I hit that bitch like 3 or 4 times, and I sat down. I was like, "Hey shit." I walked back in like,
"Hey y'all."
One guy was like, "Did you buy something?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I could tell because he just."
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just literally, my face is like prior to smoking, like, bitch.
Talk to me.
And then after I smoke, I'm like,
I'm like, "Do you want to get ice cream?"
Yes.
No, I'm not. I'm like, what I was worried about before is no big deal.
It's like,
We're gonna be
water
fine.
under the bridge.
Right. It'll be fine.
But yeah, guys, unfortunately, I do think we should wrap it up.
I want to say, yeah, we are going to have to cut this episode short, you guys. We got a few things we got to do today, but
We wanted to make sure to talk to
Yeah.
the people.
You guys are important.
Yes.
No,
make
seriously.
time for you.
Yes, and the more consistent we are with you, the more you will be with us in the
Right.
future. So, and yeah, stay tuned for our partnerships that we got coming on. Thank you so much to everyone at the Ohio Cannabis Business Summit that we met
seriously.
today. You are so sweet. You're so
sweet.
kind.
So much information to give and like just share with passion.
Yeah.
And that within itself is go start.
And although you may have met us as other names today, just letting you know we do go by aliases on the show. So just to let you know one more time, I am Finn,
LSP.
in Marceline.
which you didn't get to meet today. It was okay.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in to Who Got the Gas, and we will see you in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.